It's really hard to be truly happy when you're not being yourself, and most of us have no idea who we are. We all face situations that seem unsolvable. We don't see how we can bounce back, how we can achieve a dream, how our family will be restored. All circumstances indicate it won't happen. Believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable. Discover powerful and unique recommendations that can contribute to your journey to success. See the links in the description of this video. How much of life do you feel you control? Or how much does life control you? Do you tend to control more of what's happening, or do events control you? If you focus on what you can't control, dwell on the past, constantly focus on what's missing in your life, that pattern of focus will leave you frustrated, overwhelmed, depressed. It won't even matter if you're taking antidepressants. If you keep focusing on what you can't control, on what's missing in your life, you'll feel depressed no matter how many antidepressants you take. Focus is power. Complaining, crying, lamenting, murmuring, a biblical word called murmuring, that will define your future. Spend 5 minutes complaining and you've wasted 5 minutes. And maybe you've started what's known as economic bone cancer. Surely, they'll soon take you to a financial desert and leave you choking on the dust of your own regret. And not only is it important for you to know that it's possible to choose your future, but it's necessary for you to work on yourself, to develop yourself. It's necessary for you to remove energy suckers from your life, people who want nothing, people who aren't striving, people who aren't challenging themselves, people who aren't growing, people who've stopped dreaming. It's necessary for you to align yourself with people and attract people to your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and irrational, people who refuse to live life as it is and want more. My mother used to say, tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are. If you walk with losers, you'll end up being a loser. It's necessary for you to push losers out of your life if you want to live your dream. The challenge of life, I've found, is to build a resume that not only tells a story about who you want to be but is a story about who you want to be. It's a resume that not only tells a story about what you want to accomplish but why. A story that's not just a collection of titles and positions but a story that's really about your purpose, because when you inevitably stumble and find yourself stuck in a hole, it's that story that will get you out of there. What's your true calling? What's your dharma? What's your purpose? You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So, you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, whether it's your intuition, destiny, life, karma, whatever, because believing that the dots will connect in the future will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you down a less traveled path. And that will make all the difference. Just keep standing. You keep standing. You keep standing. No matter how rough the sea is, you keep standing. And I'm not just talking about water. You keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. I don't care anymore how long I live. What matters most to me is how I live. Let me ask you a question I've been asked all my life by a person who barely finished the 3rd grade. How are you living? How are you living? Every day, ask yourself that question. How are you living? Here's what a cook would suggest to you to live, like this. That you don't judge, that you arrive early, that you be kind, that you make sure the servant's cloth is large and used, that if you're going to do something, do it the right way. That cook would tell you that it's never wrong to do the right thing, that how you do anything is how you do everything. And in that way, you'll increase your influence to make an impact. In that way, you'll honor all those who came before you, who invested in you. Seek wisdom in the most unlikely places. Improve your life every day by seeking that wisdom and asking yourself every night, how am I living? One person can change the world by giving hope to people. So, if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life isn't fair and you'll fail many times. But if you take risks, stand up when times are tough, face the bullies, lift up the oppressed, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and generations to come will live in a much better world than we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Let's take a look at this idea of specificity for a minute. Like a winter house in Hawaii. Very nice, but if I say I'm going to own a 2-bedroom villa on the beach on the west coast of Maui, Hawaii, by June 1, 2003, does that sound a bit clearer? Yes, and until you're that specific, the creative part of your brain won't kick in and figure out how to help you get there. And that's why many people never achieve their dreams, because they don't make them specific enough. You need to be very detailed. Break it down into parts. How much? By when? I want to have a better relationship with my husband. What does that mean? But if I say I want to spend an hour a week sitting opposite my husband talking about real things that matter, no TV, eye-to-eye communication, that we can measure. Did you do that for an hour? Want to have more fun? What does that mean? Well, what if I say I'm going to listen to comedy albums twice a week, for at least an hour? You're probably going to have more fun. So make it specific, make it real. Some people say, I want our business to grow. Well, how much? By when? Want reading scores to go up in a school. How much? By when? Until you have that, you won't progress, and many people's dreams are never fulfilled because they're not clear about the specific number of how much by when. Like I said earlier in the program. We said we were going to sell 1.5 million books in a year and a half, and that directed our behavior. Recently, we said we were going to sell 1 million books in one day. We had 101 bookstores involved in a book signing. I'm going to try to get into the Guinness Book of Records for the largest book signing ever held. Now, I don't think we sold 1 million books. Maybe we sold a few 100,000, but by keeping that goal and trying to figure out how to do it, it moved us toward that goal. Maybe it will take us 2 years to figure out how to sell 1 million books in one day, but it gets us thinking about expanding in that area. Does that make sense? So you want to have those goals. Now, the other thing you want to do is break down your goals. Many of you have big goals, and hunger in the world. That's a pretty big goal. Achieve world peace. Achieve a certain level of spiritual unity with God or life. Big goals. When you first look at it, it's kind of overwhelming, but what if we were to break that down into small steps that says, okay, I want to go to college and get a PhD. Wow, I'm just a high school student. But the next step would be finish the math class. Get an A in this. Request a brochure from a college. Get a catalog. Choose 1 or 5 colleges that I want to apply to. Just keep breaking it down into small steps and then figure out how to get all those steps done and put a date by each step. And then start doing the plan. Someone said if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Does that make sense? Yes, absolutely. One of my friends said success by yards is hard, by inches it's easy. So just break it down into small pieces. I was reading the Guinness Book of World Records because we were thinking about being there, and this guy set a goal to eat an entire bicycle. Tires and all. How do you do that? Well, it took him 17 days, but what he did was cut the bicycle into pieces and then melt it down into small swallowable pieces, and he ate them. I don't know how much stayed in it, but he ate them. But the point is, anything can be done if you break it down small enough. Make sense? So don't let the bigness of a goal overwhelm you. I don't know if you agree with me, but in many ways, one of the key factors for legendary success is not your natural ability. It's not whether you have the right product, it's not whether you're in the right field, it's not whether you've had a blessed background. It's not whether you have the right IQ. I want you to really think about and deconstruct and play with maybe later tonight when you're journaling. I want you to deconstruct this idea of confidence, and it seems like a very simple word, but just think about it in your own life. When you have confidence, or we could even call it fire, when you have that fire within you, that confidence, that interior bravery, you almost have this power to do whatever it takes to get your brave vision done. You see, in this world, it's not about, in many ways, your strategy and your business or your ability. In your life, it's about this thing called confidence, and we've all had these times in our lives when we are full of confidence, and what other people see as a problem, we simply do see as an opportunity. Other people see it as a stumbling block or a wall, and we see it as a stepping stone or the solution. So confidence is simply something that you really want to wire in. Confidence is something you really want to develop. Confidence is a practice. Confidence is a muscle, and like any muscle, the more you focus on it and practice it and train it, the stronger your confidence is going to grow. And I just have to say it again. When you are at a place in your life, when there is ongoing, steady stream of confidence moving through your mindset, moving your heart set, you do the heroic in your business and you achieve the remarkable in your life.